Venezuela is leaderless. That's the new headline all over the world. But is it really? Today, I want to take a look at what exactly happened in Venezuela and what might happen next. On January 3rd, around 2 a.m., the United States military launched an operation called Absolute Resolve. The target? Capture Venezuela's dictator Nicolas Maduro. The American army entered Venezuela's capital, Caracas, but quickly got fired at by Venezuelan and Cuban military personnel. The battle, if you can even call it that, was short. Around 24 Venezuelan soldiers and 32 Cuban soldiers lost their life, while no American soldiers were lost. The operation went as expected. Dictator Nicolas Maduro was quickly captured and brought to the US, and while Venezuela technically escaped from the long dictatorship under Maduro, Venezuela itself isn't leaderless. The vice president of the country, Delcy Rodriguez, has now stepped in and become the new Venezuelan president, calling for the immediate release of Maduro and stating that Venezuela will never be a colony of another empire. And that's what she got wrong. The United States does not plan to occupy or colonize Venezuela. Sure, Trump's plan has eyes on Venezuela's oil, as all the other superpowers do, but there is more to this than you know. Venezuela is literally the richest country in South America, if not in the world, but that's in terms of resources that haven't been touched yet, while the Venezuelan population lives in absolute poverty, and it gets worse day by day. Venezuela could be richer than countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE, but it isn't. Why? Well, the reasons will not shock you. First on the list is the dictatorship. With Maduro in power, Venezuela has suffered because of the corruption like never seen before. Not only that, but also hyperinflation, years of mismanagement, and threatening to go at war with its neighbors. While the news may have shown Maduro as a leader who cares about the people, in reality, that never actually happened. Maduro destroyed the people of Venezuela long before the American sanctions even arrived. Sanctions or any outside powers are not to blame for the collapse of Venezuela. It is simply because of the corrupt dictatorship established by Maduro. And now the question is, why doesn't Venezuela just get its oil from underneath themselves? They are sitting on the largest proven oil reserves in the world. Well, the answer is that they just can't. Venezuela has very heavy crude oil under its surface, which is way harder to produce and refine. Not only that, but their state-owned oil company, PDVSA, cannot extract the oil by themselves because they lack investment and technology, and its only partners are Russia and China. Or at least, they were the only partners. Trump wants to help the people of Venezuela. The United States wants to help Venezuela get more oil from its ground, so Venezuela can prosper again, and for its people to live decent lives again. And now that Maduro is gone once and for all, this idea of a democratic and American-friendly Venezuela is possible. See, while Maduro is now captured in the US, Venezuela itself isn't leaderless. The vice president has taken the leadership just a few days ago, and while she doesn't agree with America's decision of capturing Maduro, she is interested in maintaining stability, peace, and opening cooperation with the US. At the time of recording, Venezuela has just agreed for the first time to sell oil to the United States, between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil. Venezuela will remain hostile towards the West, but at least now that Maduro is gone, they will slowly be opening up to trade and actual negotiations, something that Maduro would have never done. Venezuela is slowly starting to cooperate with everyone, not just with America's rivals, and what Trump hopes to do now, together with Marco Rubio, is to establish a democratic system inside Venezuela where the people have power, and to establish a more friendly leadership towards the US for future cooperation, and to stop the spread of Russian, Chinese, and Iranian influence. The United States hopes that Venezuela will become a new nation, less corrupt, less hostile, a nation with democratic principles, a nation that will get along with its neighbors, and a nation that will help not only its population of over 30 million people, but also its diaspora population of over 8 million people. Over 8 million people who live outside the walls of Venezuela because of its dark past. But these 8 million people are now celebrating all over the world, hoping for a new era for Venezuela, a place that they can return to and once again call home. Personally, what I want to see is the people of Venezuela being able to return to their home, a home with better conditions and a home that will start a new era in its history. I pray for all of the people of Venezuela to be safe and happy. The leader that controlled all of you for such a long time is now gone. Bienvenidos a una nueva era. Bienvenidos a casa. Gloria a Venezuela.